So take the first step to see if your small business qualifies.
As the vote allergy.
Janet, my apologies for not calling you sooner, but we don't have anything on the agenda tonight for the public safety building.
Oh, okay, so I'm done.
You're done.
All right, good night, everyone.
Good night. Thank you.
Hey, everyone.
Hello.
Hey, Lynn, real quick, your last slide with the meeting dates, your December date needs to be updated still. Just a heads up.
Okay.
Why? Did Mark say something already?
Oh, I said
Mark's laughing at me. Oh, the last
well,
meeting,
I
I know.
said in the last meeting on Tuesday.
Yeah, it's a Tuesday, right? Yeah, or
Yeah.
it's not supposed, and it's not supposed to be, right? I'm
Yeah.
just trying to plug my
Yeah.
dates in, which is sad that we're plugging dates in December already, but that's 2023, it seems.
I know.
Mhm.
It's going by fast. So it'll be the 14th.
1-4. Mhm.
Anything can happen at any moment, and you better be ready to rescue yourself or and tips to thank you.
Started and ended.
And interest.
Oh, much better.
Hello.
I was trying to do it without glasses, wasn't working.
Hey, I can't do anything without glasses anymore. Remember back in the day when I had
Mine are
nice
the
young eyes and everything?
mine are the $2 specials.
I did that for a number of years, but last year I actually got glasses. I had to get the Blu-ray ones because you run on the computer too much.
Penelope, how's it going? I'm on a meeting for the high school, okay? Okay, okay, one sec.
Eric, you're unmuted, just so you know.
Oh, sorry about that.
Don't say anything too important.
I know.
Thank you.
All right, it's 7:01. We'll start the meeting. Is there anybody who wishes to engage in public participation? Seeing and hearing none. Lynn? Before we
Yes.
start, there was going to be matters on for the public safety building. However, the invoices have not, the final invoices from Bond has not been sent in yet. There were some change orders that have not been dealt with yet. And so we are not having any matters regarding the public safety building at this meeting, unless I saw Craig, you were on. Is there anything that you wish to add that was not on the agenda or anything?
No, Chip, I think we're all set. Thank you.
Okay, all right. Yeah, we just didn't get all the final numbers in and the change orders in yet, so
Okay.
it was and we're dealing with the one issue that's out there, so we'll keep you advised, okay?
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, we're just trying to update people and, you know, a couple of the last things that are still going on, but overall, should be all set other than that. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Craig.
Take care. Have a good night.
All right, take care.
Thank you. Okay,
So
are we-
we'll start with the high school.
Yes, good evening, everyone. First on the agenda tonight, we have some administrative actions. Review of the July 27th meeting minutes, approval of the July invoices, a quick budget update. And then SMA has a design update on permitting, and then Bond will give us a quick overview of the construction logistics plans, and we'll talk about schedule again at the end. First up are the meeting minutes.
I move that we approve the July 27th, 2023 Permanent Building Committee, School Building Committee meeting minutes as written.
I will second.
Thank you, Jason. Any questions or comments regarding the minutes? Does anyone object to approval of the July 27th, 2023 Permanent Building Committee, School Building Committee meeting minutes? Hearing none, they're adopted.
Thank you. Next are the July invoices. We have one from Left Field, SMMA and their consultants, Bond Building, and Bond Building.
I move that we approve invoice number 25 for Left Field for the sum of $133,158.
I will second.
Any questions or discussion? Hearing none. Chip,
Yes.
Mark,
Yes.
Phil,
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
Jason,
Yes.
Aaron,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
unanimous.
I move that we approve Left Field's reimbursable services for the Registry of Deeds. Invoice number 25 dated 7/31 for the sum of $115.50.
I will second that one.
Any questions or comments? Hearing none. Chip,
Yes.
did someone? Okay, Mark,
Yes.
Phil,
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
Jason,
Yes.
Aaron,
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Unanimous.
Okay, I'm gonna do this like we did last time, all in. So I move that we approve SMMA invoice number 0059752 for the sum of $890,918. I move that we approve SMMA BSC Group Traffic Specialty for $15,861.78. I move that we approve CWD hazmat investigations for the sum of $10,033.91. I move that we approve LGCI Geotech Consulting for the sum of $33,056.54. And that we approve BSC Group Traffic Consulting for the sum of $18,854.22 for a total of $968,724.45.
I will second all of the above.
Any questions or comments? Hearing none. Chip,
Yes.
Mark,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
Jason,
Yes.
Aaron,
Yes.
John?
Yes.
It's unanimous.
I move that we approve bond building invoice number 122043-005 for the sum of $28,333.33.
You're not gonna do the same thing? It's the exact same.
Nah,
invoice.
There's only two.
I'll second the first bond.
Any questions or comments? Hearing none. Chip,
Yes.
Mark,
Yes.
Phil,
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
Jason,
Yes.
Aaron,
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Unanimous.
I move that we approve bond building XCXC Consulting, PC Amendment 2, Road Consultant for the sum of $6,136.67.
I will second as well.
Any questions or comments? Hearing none. Chip,
Yes.
Mark,
Yes.
Phil,
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
Jason,
Yep.
Aaron? Aaron? John?
Yes.
Aaron?
I think
Okay,
she's having trouble with her,
He's just
audio.
having trouble. Okay. It's unanimous.
Okay, all of these invoices total $1,136,467.95, which are included on the, in the, project budget status report that is included in your monthly, packet, from, Left Field. So to date, we have committed 12%, expended 2%, and we still have 88% uncommitted, which is a little bit incorrect because we have committed all of the OPM and AE fees for design. Our cash flow, we're still reporting under the forecasted expenditures, so we're tracking well on that. And I wanted to give you a quick update on a designer contract amendment that you'll see coming before you at the next meeting. It's for the additional culvert design work that we've been asked to do outside of the property lines of the high school. The line culvert extends through Wakefield to the stream with ending with the head wall there, and then also across Hemlock Road. These services are tracking to be about $73,780. We don't have all the proposals in from all of SMMA's consultants yet, but we just wanted to give you an update on where we were with that. This is additional work that's been asked of us by the town.
Any questions or comments?
Hey, Joe.
And just one of you mentioned where
sorry.
you think the funding for this is coming from.
Yeah.
So we had somewhere, and you can see this on the total project budget, but we had a couple $100,000 left in the feasibility study. budget, so we will be applying it to those remaining funds.
Any other questions or comments? All right, thanks, Lynn.
Next, I'm going to turn it over to SMMA to give a quick update on where we are with permitting. I don't know if you want the screen or are you just going to give us a verbal update, Helen?
Erin is here. Erin
Erin.
Priscillio.
Sorry.
Would you like the screen share, Erin?
Sure, I have, it's not a super exciting screen. It has a lot of text and dates, but while I'm fumbling to share it with you all.
All right, I made you a not exciting co-host.
I'm gonna do my best tonight, though.
All right.
Okay, so let me know if you can see this in front of you.
You got it.
So this is the current proposed schedule to obtain local permits. I'm gonna start with the punchline, so we know that our early package is going to bid at the end of January. And so working back from that early bid date, we need to have our permits in hand, which means that appeal periods have lapsed by then. So the goal of all of our local permits, and it's really 2 filings with Conservation Commission and Zoning Board of Appeals, we have all those in hand by the end of this year. So that will allow us to safely remain on schedule. Is really what that will allow us to do. Our conservation filing is more solidified than zoning. Conservation filing will be 9/7 to appear before the commission on 19. We have a couple of anticipated additional hearings, anticipated when the order of conditions will be issued, and then when we can record the order at the registry in early December. Zoning Board of Appeals is not as clear because we're still in the process of talks with the attorneys about how we're going to calculate zoning compliance based on the campus and an exhaustive review at the registry of how the campus was put together in different lots and whatnot. So that said, we are going to be filing with the building inspector the week of 9/11. With an anticipated hearing date with the Zoning Board of Appeals in October, and then again allow us to get our decision issued in December of this year. Does anyone have any questions?
Yeah, any questions or discussion, comments?
It's Phil. I'm just wondering with the conservation, is there anything like, do we know what they're going to be talking about? Like, are there any anticipated issues that you're preparing for ahead of time, or that you think might be sticking points to these 3 hearings you have in here? So
Yeah, I think there will be. There's the stormwater management design piece of it, which we've been engaged with Bill Renault for some time now about all things stormwater management related calculations and compliance to town and state requirements. And then what Bill refers to as the bugs and bunnies, it's all of the wetland resource impacts, which we will have no direct impacts, but it's all about work that we're doing in the buffer zone. So we've heard a lot. We've met with all of the town boards, so they're familiar somewhat with the project. Of course, we have our ORAD. We've met with the commission before. We're doing everything we can to get ahead of some of these matters like winter maintenance, salt use, like approach to exterior lighting in the buffer zone. A big piece of our filing with the commission is going to be what this culvert design is and how we propose to build it. What is the sequencing? What are special erosion controls, dewatering approach, and whatnot. So these are things that we're all thinking about and needing to head into that filing with those answers.
thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Thank you, Erin.
Yep, I'm gonna try and stop. All right, good.
Can you see my?
Yep.
presentation? Okay. All right, next, we have Bond's logistics plans up. And Dave, if you want to run everybody through them quickly, I have them on the screen.
Sure, you can leave it right here for a second. So we're not intending tonight to go through each and every plan but we're just gonna highlight the things that have evolved since the last time they were presented, and that's primarily with respect to the temporary parking conditions and resolution to providing what the school needs for each phase. And we've settled on an approach now that will start off the project in mid-March, early April, with expanding the existing lot D, which will create capacity to allow for lot C, which is the existing lot adjacent to the existing Beasley Oval, to be removed when we start clearing the site for the new building. So the plan now is to expand lot D as the very first activity. At the same time, we are proposing to complete what we're now calling lot H. And you'll recall that there's one of the later phases, and we can get to it in a second, but when we turn over the new building, the existing building is still very much in the way of the final parking configuration. So for that particular phase, we need additional parking for the school's use, and we've expanded the grass area beyond the outfield and the existing baseball field as an opportunity to create that parking. And since we settled on that as an option, it also became a very good place to put the construction trailers and OPM trailer, as well as some on-site construction parking, well, adjacent to on-site construction parking, which frees up the upper lot for student parking, which is needed while the new building's being erected too. So this was kind of the best case scenario to accommodate as much existing parking as that's needed to keep the school operating as intended during the entire construction. So if you go to the next one real quick, that's when you can see where obviously all that existing parking behind the existing school goes away as soon as we start clearing the site. And at that point, lot D is expanded, and the upper lot will be expanded during that summer. So we have enough capacity by the time we get to September and the next one to complete. If you want to hit the next one real quick. This is September. So the upper lot is being turned over for student parking when they come back to school, and lot D is where faculty and staff will park. And if you flip through to the next one, this was the pinch point. So this is what kind of started this big conversation about what to do about temp parking. And as you can see in this phase, the new building is being turned over for occupancy, and we have yet had the opportunity to take down the existing and provide the final parking configuration. So during this phase, lot H, which is what's now in the excess outfield of the baseball field, will be used in part to get the remaining spaces needed for owner use and staff and faculty that gets lost until we can complete the final parking in the next phase. If you flip to that one. So this is when we're constructing those lots, and then that runs through the summer of 27. And then in the next one, which is kind of the final configuration, we're turning those lots over by September of 27. And there's enough parking to accommodate what's needed to operate the school at that point. And we'll move towards the end of the project in the final slide.
That's the final slide.
Oh, yeah, sorry, this. So we're just finishing the new Beasley Oval at that point, and the remaining piece of the lot 1 gets turned over for the end of the job in December. So like I said, the big change here was the addition of what we're calling lot H in the excess outfield of the baseball field that accommodates the necessary parking for the phase that we turn the new building over, and we're taking advantage of that opportunity to create some adjacent to site parking and trailer, office trailer and subcontractor trailer parking while we're we're there. So it's kind of a win-win, works for everybody. It's a very good final solution to the approach. Everybody's accommodated to the best of our ability, and it seems to be a plan that everybody is very happy with at the moment. So we felt it was time to present it to you.
David, at the end of the project, does Lot H get ripped up and we go back to a larger baseball field, or does it make sense maybe at the end of the project to leave the parking lot there?
The intent right now is to turn it back over to grass, but the baseball field would not be expanded. I think the athletic department actually likes the idea of having it at the regulation size with a fence we're proposing to put in this fall so that we're not impacting spring baseball. But the plan currently is to turn that back over to grass. And I don't know if Aaron, if you want to add to that, but I think that's required because it adds impervious. I'm not sure, but right now the plan is to go back to grass.
Yes, that's right. There's various permitting impacts. If that parking was to remain, we'd need to, manage it in a way if it was a permanent improvement. And
Yeah, I'm just thinking of the millions of people that park on the street. It would be nice to have additional parking, but if it's a big problem 4 years from now, I guess we'll rip it up.
not a big problem, but I think if it was
Well,
never part of the discussion.
4 years.
so-
We got 4 years to think about it. We'll see how.
I would
far it
say,
is. Yeah.
that the construction is currently contemplated is very much temporary.
Yes,
So
Yes.
if it was intended to be permanent, there'd be a whole lot of additional scope and design work needed and potential
Gotcha.
costs to make it permanent. So right now, that's not in the cards, not in the budget, not in the plan, but there's time to explore it, I guess. And just to be clear too, our current drawing may not be the final configuration of that. We're exploring options of where the best place to put the trailers are and minimizing impact to the views at the intersections and all that. So it's just, we know generally that's where it's going and we're finalizing what that really looks like.
Okay.
well said, David.
Is there any other questions or comments regarding the,
I got two quick
Yep.
things. So
Yeah,
it's
Phil.
Phil, so pedestrian safety from lot H to cross the street. What are you planning? Because it's a pretty high traffic corner there and people are gonna still be accessing for the Voke and the brake carts. It's just something to consider. I know that's like probably a leaf view point at this point, but just bringing it up. And random, but the battery park that was approved, how's the infrastructure getting from that to the high school campus? Is there, because there has to be some connection, right? Isn't that battery park servicing the high school in some way? Is that going through the upper lot area or is that just gonna follow the street? Do we have any idea how that, and will that impact any of this logistics?
It very much is figured out. It's coming down
Okay.
Hemlock.
Okay,
It does have an impact on. I mean, I think ideally we would try to limit most of the work to the summer. But that's still very much a work in progress until the final details are figured out. But that's, I'm not sure exactly what Wakefield Municipal Gas and Light has part of that scope, and we have another part, which is still very much in discussion. So the final schedule and detail of that, in a perfect world, Phil, the thought is to do as much as we can in the road during the summer. But
Yep.
that's not yet finalized or completely understood. And to answer your first question, I think we're proposing very much like what we considered at Farm Street with a temporary crosswalk, maybe some temporary crossing signals or something for the Lot H crossover as well, but still a work in progress.
yep, and that's the parts of responsibility in the battery park that obviously is gonna drive that whole discussion. So what's the timeline? Is there active discussions with the light department about all that, or what's the plan? Who has to figure that out? Is that bond? Is that a left field issue or SMMA or everyone
All of
involved?
the above.
It's all of the above, Bill. We have, actually, it's twice a month we're meeting with WMGLD. So we have the benefit of being the second, school they're dealing with in terms of, the conception of their energy park and how they're going to serve both from an emergency backup standpoint. But yes, we are meeting with them. Actually, we had a meeting with them today on all of these
Okay.
issues.
Great, thank you.
any other questions or comments? Okay,
And just to wrap things up, we have our next permanent building committee meeting scheduled for September 14th. And there should be a number of meetings through the end of August and into September for permitting and regulatory agency approvals. We did change the December 12th meeting to December 14th, which is a Thursday night now. And before we go, I wanted to introduce to everyone a new left field team member, Craig DiCarlo, who's on. Let me just stop sharing so everybody can see everybody. He's joining the team to help out with the high school.
Hi, everybody.
Greg,
Craig, do you know what your role is going to be yet?
Yeah, so I'll be sort of Lynn and Tim's support and as I sort of get ramped up, but I'm a senior project manager. And so I've got, you know, a couple other projects, so I will be helping on this one. And yeah, I'm actually I live nearby. I live in Reading, and so this is a great one. I'm very excited to be working on, nice and close to home. A project that I care deeply about. So, yeah.
Welcome aboard.
Thank you very much.
could we get like a project team tree from everyone involved with this project? It's been a while since we interviewed everyone with those big binders when, you know, everyone was hired for this project, and there were certain team people in those binders that don't, where it would be great just to get an updated from all the consultants and bond, as you know, of the team that's going to be in place for this project. I think that would be helpful.
Great idea.
Welcome aboard, Craig.
Thank you.
That's all I have tonight.
Then there's a possibility we may have to meet in 2 weeks due to some change orders with the public safety building. I just don't know the answer to that yet. Once we find out about it, we'll let everybody know. If we do it, it'll be a very quick meeting. I'm afraid that some of the things just weren't ready for tonight. Beyond everybody's control, or not everybody, but there was some control, but not everybody's control. So that may have to occur on the 24th. I just don't know yet.
And we would probably also include SMMA's contract amendment 5 if it's complete by then.
All right.
So the other thing, Joe.
Yeah.
Can I just ask? Oh,
Yep.
sorry.
Go ahead.
Yes, it's not, we don't have formal proposals in hand, but though those are the numbers I do have from our consultants. And given the time frame that we need to get geotech going on, I don't know if the committee would be amenable to approving that number, knowing that we will follow up with the formal written proposals.
Is it going to be more than that number?
No.
Going to be less?
Well, in a sense, it could be less because some of the here's the answer,
hesitant
because
there
some
on
of
the
the
left
CA
part.
visits are hourly. So that would be the upper limit, Chip, to answer your
Okay.
question.
And Lynn, you're comfortable that we have this covered in the other budget, right?
Yes, it's well within the other budget, so.
And I
Okay.
apologize for
Just
not
trying
having
to
this
get
all
back
pulled
to that
together.
slide right there.
So Joe, if you're willing, I'm willing to make a motion that we approve contract amendment number 5 for the future, not to exceed $70,780, so that we can proceed with this design.
So that's 73,780.
Thank you, Lynn.
Yeah,
Isn't that what it said?
70,780. Yep.
Yeah, I'll second at the
Any-
73,780 number.
Not to exceed.
Yep, not to exceed 73,780.
Any questions or comments? Okay. Chip,
Yes.
Mark,
Yes.
Phil,
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
Jason,
Yes.
Aaron,
Yes.
John?
Yes.
All right, it's unanimous.
Thank you
And
very
on the
much.
24th, we'll have the official contract amendment, correct? If
Yes.
possible. All right,
For sure. Yeah,
okay.
Great.
thank you.
All right, one other thing is that the working group, that we got a volunteer to join on the working group, Mr. Tom Galvin. Thank you very much, Tom. Everyone greatly appreciates that. And the first meeting is going to be Tuesday because there are some things we need to discuss that have come up recently, and I think it has to be dealt with a little bit. If that's okay, Tom, is that good for you, Tuesday at 4?
That'll work for me.
All right, and Tim O'Brien, are you still on? I saw him earlier.
Yes, sir.
Oh, thank you, Tim. Tim, we'd like you to attend those meetings as well as the representative of the school district. And then if questions come up during that working group, you can get those answers rather than necessarily have a whole big group of people. So
Absolutely.
Tuesdays at 4 o'clock. That good for you, Tim?
Yes, sir. It'd be my pleasure.
All right, thank you very much. And SMMA, who can make it, for that on that day, day and time, it would be greatly, whoever can be there and needs to be there. That'll be the start. And generally speaking, in the past, the working groups and before construction begins were just about every other week. So it's not like every single week, but if it's needed, it can be every week. We'll just have to see how it goes, okay? Anybody have any questions?
Can people join the working group if they didn't officially email you to ask to be in the working group?
Unfortunately, it's a 3-member group.
And
Good.
there's
Good answer. Okay, it's a small group for a big project. So
Yeah.
I thought there was a comment I made a couple meetings ago about trying to get more, people involved in
It's-
these big
it's-
projects. So
then you can't, you're running
We
into.
certainly can go out and request the working group can go out and request advice or comments from people to help on certain things, but otherwise it becomes a publicly noticed meeting.
Right, there's.
Got it. It's the quorum thing. Yep.
Yeah,
Correct.
I'm thinking it's.
Correct.
Okay.
We run into some issues with it, so we'll have to play it by ear as well, see how things, I mean, there may be times when people can't make it, maybe people could make, we'll just have to see how it goes, but we try to keep it to the 3. All right, any other questions or comments? Lynn, is there anything else?
That's all.
Does anybody else have anything outside of the agenda? Matters not anticipated for agenda, I always like that one.
Hey, Joe,
Yes, or is this a
just,
matter?
I know we just voted ZBA appointed. When do we reappoint you as chair?
We just did recently.
Did we?
No.
That wasn't
no.
that long ago.
Yeah, it was a year ago.
Was
I seem to think,
I know, I forgot to do it.
I don't think we've done it this year yet.
I don't think we've done it this year.
Maybe we should put that on the agenda for our next meeting.
Take a look. I think we did it in the spring.
I
Did
thought
we
we did it.
we
I
had
thought
new
we did it
members.
earlier
I
this
thought we
year.
did too. I thought
I'm
it was.
fairly
Okay.
certain we did.
Maybe, hopefully we did.
I
Okay,
think we did, like back in March, February, March, maybe.
I'm always
Okay.
amenable to a coup, though.
You're not getting off that easy, Joe. Sorry, man.
Damn.
I move that we adjourn then.
Second.
All in favor? Click leave meetings. Take care, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
Right.
Thanks,
Good night.
everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Bye.
Bye.